Hi, everybody. Welcome to everyone to Transformation Conversations. This is the podcast where we explore the incredible journeys of individuals who have transformed their lives, careers, and communities. I am your host, Coach Gayl Benson, and each week we'll dive deep into inspiring stories of change, growth, and resilience
Human
of the human
spirit.
spirit. Whether you're looking
Whether
to
you're
make a
looking,
big change for yourself or simply seek some motivation to keep pushing forward, my motto is to keep moving and stay motivated. Push forward to this place that is ready and set for you. Our guests come from all walks of life. Entrepreneurs, artists, activists, authors, everyday heroes with a unique and powerful story to share. A professional woman, a professional man. We want to come together as a community and share these stories of resilience and transformation, shining the lights on those who are here to inspire and empower you and remind you that you too can be ready to transform. So join us on this journey. We're so glad you're here. My first segment tonight is going to be a solo segment introducing myself to you. I am Coach Gayl Benson. I'm so excited to be here. This has been long overdue. It's been long coming and definitely worth the wait. I hope that you enjoy it so much that you will like and subscribe to this thing. We want to see you every week here on the Transformation Conversations podcast channel here. And my first conversation, I want to talk about something that I posted on social media today. And I had a couple of people in my DMs and a family member text me, but I just want to talk about trauma sitting and pain partners. Trauma sitting, what is trauma sitting? And it's not really what it sounds like because trauma sitting may come across as if I'm talking about us sitting in our trauma. In actuality, I am talking about sitting in other people's trauma when we allow other people to pull us back down into their traumatic pit. Sometimes we feel guilty because we've healed. You know, those people that we used to talk to when we was going through just constantly feeling victimized. We didn't find our way to the light yet. We were still hurt, broken, bruised, uh, disappointed, all the things that come along with trauma bonding and those trauma bond and pain partners that we latched onto and we always talked about our problems and our situations and everybody else that was the problem. And before we started looking internally at ourselves, we trauma bonded with these people. Now, what do you do when you have found the light and you've crossed that threshold of healing and you're in the process of healing? You're growing, you're developing, you're starting to enjoy life, you're letting your light shine, you are trying to illuminate the world. But the pain partner comes to find you and they want to pull you back in that pit. Sometimes they'll segue in and ask you, hey, how you doing? Oh, I saw your post on social media, just to segue and open up that door so they can reintroduce their pain to you. They can reintroduce the fact that they need you to be in the hub with them so that they can continue to circulate the pain. We have to give ourselves permission to let that go. It's not that you don't love them, but you do love yourself more. When you graduate and you grow from those dark places and you are growing from your pain, give yourself permission to do so. What you can offer to your friend, coworker, family member, spouse, whatever the case is, or whatever the scenario is point them in the direction of licensed, credentialed counselors and people that can truly help them. Because what I noticed about pain partners inside their trauma bond, they like to swim there. They like to constantly swim around there and revisit that pain because if they don't, and they take the time to realize that they too have the keys to unlock that door and step across that threshold to get help, or just to decide that they are going to grow from their experience. A lot of people are not willing to grow because in doing that, growth requires action. Growth holds you responsible to do something about something, and everyone is not willing to do that. And we have to understand that that's okay. That is absolutely okay, baby. I'm gonna give you the grace to be there, but I'm gonna give myself the peace to continue to heal. I'm gonna develop. I'm going to grow personally and professionally. I love you with the love of the Lord, but I have got to continue to move on. Don't let people pull you back into the pain pit. Do not allow people to reattach that trauma bond to you. I had a situation where I had to release my trauma bond with someone, and I didn't know in the beginning that I had even attached a trauma bond to this person. And to make it even more weird, it's not even somebody that I was close to. It was somebody that I associated with a time in my life. And that person was introduced into my life at a particular time, and I became inspired at that time. And I unknowingly attached a trauma bond to that person. And when things didn't go the way I thought they should, or decisions were made that I thought, you hear me, right? That I thought were bad business decisions or just decisions that I would not have made. I was mad. I was upset. I was downright mad. And I had to look at myself because I kept saying, I'm finger at her. What is my role? How did it get here? How did I allow it to get here? What part did I play in this scenario? And that's how I realized, because I applied previous education from going through a 14-week group therapy program when I was going through depression and anxiety. I started using some of those tools and I started self-assessing. I had to take myself out of victim mode and just look in the mirror at myself and understand how did the movie get here. I was in the movie too, so what role did I play? And I started realizing that I was so upset because I had attached her in my trauma, because she was a light for me at a time when I was in a dark place. And I attached myself to that light and to that opportunity. And I can't even be mad because I grew in that moment. I met wonderful people in that moment and during that time. The purpose was served, but I don't get to dictate how she shines her light. I attached myself to her light with my expectations. And as things changed for me professionally, I moved away from that, but I was still mad. I was big, how we used to say, I was big mad. I was big mad because in my mind, knowing that we don't have a close relationship, but in my mind, she was close to me. I held her close to me because of the time of my life that I associated her with. And that is not her fault. I I put a trauma bond on her. And when I realized that, I had to release that thing. And I stopped being upset because it wasn't her fault. She had no idea that I had put such a huge expectation on her. And I had to learn how to grow past the detachment. I had to grow past that part of the bond and just acknowledge and appreciate the light she did bring in my life during that time, during the opportunity, during the fabulous, wonderful people that I met at that time. I grew a lot during the whole experience. I met wonderful lifelong people during the experience. I will tell you, I would not be as present on social media had it not been for her. So she did exactly what her gift was made for her to do. And I'm thankful for it. I'm so thankful for it. But I had to check myself because my problem wasn't her problem. That was the Gayl problem. And I had to acknowledge that. And a lot of times we do not want to look in the mirror or sit with ourselves and smell when we stink. Because, my grandmother always say, the first one to know you stink is you. And sometimes we have to really understand what our aroma smell like when it don't smell so good. And I wasn't smelling good. I was stank. Okay. And I had to fix that. And I was able to grow from that. And I continue to do it today when things don't seem to be kind of working out the way I had intended or the way it was expected or forecast. The first thing I look at is me. A lot of people don't and won't do that because there are some people that have a victim mentality and it's never them. And by the grace of God, I had to learn everything ain't the devil. Everything is not the enemy. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's us. It's me making bad decisions, not seeking God's word and guidance before I do things and make decisions. And then when it starts thinking, oh, the devil know he busy. No, you didn't seek God. You didn't ask for direction. And I jumped out there knowing I got a bad track record. I mean a bad track, but I've learned from it. And I seek God in everything that I do so that I don't have to sit in my own stank. So I'm going to ask you, make sure that you release yourself and give yourself deliverance from those trauma bonds. Release those people from your trauma bonds. And for the people who are still in pain and they're trying to pull you back in the pit, explain to them the hard work that you've done to gain the access and get the momentum that you have to be where you are in your healing journey, in your growth and your development. And the same opportunity is available to them, but you're just not the person to take them there. Offer them help. There's so many resources for people to who want help. And I'll say it again. There's so many resources for people who want the help to get the help, men and women alike. There's so many platforms for us to gravitate to uh, choosing. We have a lot of choices. So I hope that you choose yourself today and do not feel guilty for stepping across that threshold of transformation, healing, and growth and development, personally or if it's professionally. If you need resources, please send me an email at info@gaylbenson.com. I have a resource link that can get you or someone you know counseling and therapeutic resources for licensed mental health counselors and clinical psychologists because we are not healthy if our mind is not healthy. So we are going to move forward, embrace the transformation. Nobody asked the caterpillar what it feels like on this journey to the chrysalis to become the butterfly. We don't ask if it's painful. We don't ask what it sounds like as it's encapsulated in there. All we know is that the most beautiful creature on earth emerges and flutters by and it captures your attention for those few seconds that it allow you to see its beauty. We're all transforming. Every experience, everything that crossed your path, every person is aligned with your journey for a reason. You are being prepared. Thank God for loving us enough to prepare us for what is yet to come. And although we don't know today that something that we learned and experienced last week is preparing us for somebody that we're going to meet next month. And we don't know until after the fact. Hindsight is 2020. I didn't understand that when I was a young girl. I used to hear my grandmother say it all the time. So listen, love on yourself, give yourself permission to heal, give yourself permission to set, establish, and enforce those boundaries. Do it in love, but you can't be everybody's answer if they don't embrace the light. Everybody has light in them. It's whether they're going to gravitate to it and do something about it, or they're going to maneuver around it in a dark place and space. So I love you all. I am Coach Gayl Benson. Thank you for coming on and watching this tonight. This is my first edition of Transformation Conversations. I will be back on here, popping on to tell you about what's coming next. Now, the normal day for Transformation Conversations is going to be on Wednesday. June 12th, I have my first guest, Anita Larson, who is a business growth strategist. If you want to mind your business, do not miss my episode with her. Anita will show you some of the things when you thought you knew about business. You don't know what you don't know till you realize you don't know it. And she has proven steps and measures to show you how you can take your business to the next level. Growth strategy, management, marketing, landing pages, websites. It's little intricate things that we can do to upscale and elevate our business. So join me on June 12th on Transformation Conversations with Anita Larson, the business growth strategist from Leader Coaching. Please like and subscribe, be notified when we are going to be on live. You can text the word convo, CONVO, to phone number 321 878 8587 to sign up for Transformation Conversations and get notified. Get an email, get a text message that I am going to be on. I want you in our community, growing and participating, transforming, showing your beautiful colors. I love you.